first close encounter really that I remember when I grew up on the west coast of Scotland. There's lots of stuff around, but I remember being completely blown away when I went out to a seabird colony off the west coast, to a little island. It's part of the Treshnish archipelago. It's a phenomenally beautiful place, but there's thousands of puffins, and there's guillemots, and there was razorbills, and gulls, and a whole range of different wildlife. And I was sort of bowled over by that abundance of life in one place. And I think particularly because it was on my doorstep, it was in Scotland. I didn't realise that you could have those kind of wildlife encounters in this country. I thought you had to travel to exotic places like India or Africa or South America, but no, there's amazing wildlife all around the world. You've just got to look for it and find it. The most fascinating, I think, was when I spent time up in the Arctic with a family of wolves. That was, it was very easy in many ways. It was really difficult to get there, logistically very hard, but it was very easy because every single hour of every single day almost, we had the wolves right in front of us, and it was fascinating to be so close to them and be able to observe their family life and there's group dynamics, and sort of not actually interfere with them at all and not affect their behaviour. I suppose filming with this silverback gorilla in the Democratic Republic of Congo, that was sort of, I wasn't scared generally of him and of Chimanuka, who was our main male character, but when he charged, when he was sort of throwing his weight around, that was very, very intimidating. And at the early it was always intimidating, but at the early stages it was scary, because you've got this enormous silverback crashing towards you, beating his chest and screaming and coming as close as I am to you. So yeah, that was definitely nerve-wracking. Definitely filming polar bears in the Arctic. Again, sort of a real logistic challenge. We were following an individual, Lyra, who had a satellite collar. So in theory, we should be able to find her whenever we wanted, every hour of every day. But the technology, as technology sort of does, was a little bit kind of gremlin filled, and we really struggled in that environment to find her. So pretty much everything that we shot of Lyra up there in Svalbard made it into the series. You could, so easy to lose a polar bear because they're phenomenally versatile when it comes to making their way around the Arctic. They can swim through sea ice, they can cross over glaciers, they can climb mountains, they can go to places that people can't. So it was a real challenge trying to keep up with her and tell the story of her and her cubs. Maybe the wolves. I think there's something about wolf family life that's very similar to our own, as different as we are as species. Wolves are they have very strong families. They're sort of driven by their desire to keep their families together and keep them safe. So they're very much a community, a little clan. And I think once you see that there's sacrifice that goes on, the older members of this family will sacrifice certain things, like go without food, to give that food to the younger, more vulnerable members of the family. I think they weren't connected to me, although they were very, very interested in me, and they seemed to like being around and being very close. So this is a family of wild wolves, and some of them, fully grown adult wolves, came up and sort of sniffed my Wellington boot. So as close as you really want to be to a wild animal.